official sponsor of birthdays, the American Cancer Society recognizes its 101st birthday, and we have never been so ready to put them out of business.
The money raised at this Relay for Life event and those taking place in 5,000 communities in 20 countries will help us to finish that fight. In 1985, Dr. Gordy Klatt laced up his shoes and took to the track in Tacoma, Washington. That was the very first relay. Dr. Klatt ran and walked 83 miles. He raised $27,000. Throughout the years, he spoke about how cancer personally affected everyone. It affects the rich, the poor, the young, the old, and all nationalities and cultures around the world. In 2012, Dr. Klatt was diagnosed with stomach cancer, and he became even more energized to beat this disease. In 2012, the American Cancer Society spent $160 million on cancer research. There's been a 20% decline in cancer death rates in the U.S. since 1991. That means that That means that we have helped save nearly 1.2 million lives during that time. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, tired, sore, a little grouchy, you get to tell somebody I'm exhausted, but not just because you didn't sleep, because you helped save 399 lives last night. By walking the track this weekend, we are joining forces with over 4 million people worldwide who want to save lives and support the American Cancer Society. The next 24 hours will symbolize a day in the life of someone fighting cancer, a disease that never sleeps. I would now like to introduce the incredible hardworking volunteers that stand behind me that make this event possible. Our 2014 Relay for Life Planning Committee. This is my fabulous committee. Danielle Johnson, my event co-chair. That would be her first and her last name put together. Katrina Hickey, our survivor and caregiver chair. Jamie White, Fight Back and Advocacy. Can I get a fist pump or a... Janet Perry and Jen Lindeblad, Luminaria chair. Entertainment chairs, Sarah Frace and Marshall Bennett. DJ and audio, Jordan with J Crew Productions. Now, if you guys are friends with any of us on Facebook for a while there, we were obnoxious, and we were asking for votes to win our DJ, and because of you and all of your friends, and you bugging your friends about bugging your friends, we won our DJ for this event. Registration chairs, Brooke Crooks and Sandra Hansen. Accounting. Take a look at them now because you will never see them again. They work really hard inside to count all the money that we collect during Relay. Mary Swigert, Catherine Gaynor, and Holly Adams. Online chair, Amber McIntyre. Offline verifier, Stacy Fulmer. Command Center, which is located right there. If you guys have any questions throughout Relay, make sure you guys go to them. You need a Band-Aid, go to them. Any questions, and they can direct you in the right way. This is Connie Reynolds and Team Super Suckers. Food Chair, Angels Among Us, and Jackie Courtney. They keep us fed and happy for 24 hours. Logistics Chair, Mike Sheets. And logistics support, Spencer Johnson, Glenn Courtney, and Joe Sapello. Oh, and a huge thank you to the Hilltop Recovery guys that are here. I don't have their names right now, but they are walking the track, helping us with all the little things that we need, so I appreciate them as well. Team Retention, James and Nina Haley. Team Recognition, Rhonda Doherty. Publicity and Marketing, he's not here, Joe Gokin. Sponsorship, Liberty Perry. Not here either. Okay, we got some youth engagement this year. Jesse Alexander and Kennedy Syfax. And our very own Miss Wonderful, Rachel Harmon. Rachel was the event chair, and now she is a proud American Cancer Society staff partner. What do you do? Okay, so one more round of applause for my amazing committee.
We would like to thank and recognize our fundraising club teams. These teams have raised $1,000 or more. When we announce your team, can the team captain please come to the stage to receive your fundraising club sign? These signs are to be displayed at your campsites to serve as some serious bragging rights, and we can change the totals as the totals go up. So if you do come into another category, let us know. Okay, this is as of, I believe, this morning or last night, so these may have changed a little bit. But as of right now, to save the Tatas is at $1,090. Please come get your sign. Lifesavers 2, $1,112. Oh, the cancers you'll beat, $1,155. Lifesavers, $1,331. Super Suckers on a Mission, $1,550. Papa Crop, $1,575. Matarap Beating Cancer, $1,690. Precious Moments, $2,400. Those were the Rising Star Club. Okay, now for the Bronze Club, which is $2,500 or more. Accounting Angels with $2,500. Flamingo Ohana with $2,505. Family Ties, $2,588. Lakeport Unified for a Cure, $2,710. Angels Among Us, $2,752. Find a Penny, $3,158. Relay Riders, $3,481. And now for the Silver Club, raising $3,500 or more. Envision a Cure, $4,105. Pirates of the Cure of Being, $4,390. Cell Smashers, $4,446.
No, they're
And
these
now
guys are
for
standing
our
right in front
one
of the stage.
and only, as of right now, which
video
will teach
yet.
today,
Want me to ask them to move
Gold
over?
Team.
Just a
They've
little
done an
bit, I
amazing
think.
job with 5,382 is Margaritaville. Great job to all of you. Thank you so much for raising so much money. So really quick, I'd like to take a second and announce our Spirit Points that is new this year. Each participant dressed up for the themed laps will receive 1 Spirit Point. You can stop by Find a Penny, which is this blue booth right here. Each time you dress up and take your lap, you stop at their booth, so you get 1 point for each outfit. They will keep a tally mark of your points. So you need to let them know your team name so that they can write it down. Let's see. Team with the most Spirit Points will win, and we will announce the winner at the Fight Back ceremony tomorrow morning. One other announcement for Trailblazer. We have our Trailblazer winners. The Trailblazer is teams with 10 or more participants, each having $100 or more raised, a committee member or ACS CAN member on their team, an on-site fundraiser or a Fight Back message on their team, and their winners, I'm going to say them really quick, but we are going to give them an award later. Or do you, we'll deliver those later to your site. Margarelayville, Cell Smashers, Envision a Cure, Super Suckers, Lakeport Unified for a Cure, Angels Among Us, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Relay Riders. These are outstanding, amazing teams who have qualified in so many areas, and we wanted to recognize them this year, so we got them their very own pink porta potties. So if you see those porta potties and you are not a Trailblazer winner, stay out. Because our Rebirths are our 4 Trailblazer winners so that they have nice, clean, pink porta potties. And Sarah Price, Entertainment Chair, has something to say.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? Hi, Sin. Just a quick rundown on how we're going to be doing our entertainment this year. My great friend, Marshall, she's holding 2 of these purple balls. We're only going to be using 1, and we're calling it the Ball of Hope. You'll see it in your program, and it is to represent cancer. That's what this ball is, and you'll hear a lot of us say it for the next 24 hours. Is cancer never sleeps, so neither do we, and neither does this ball. So we want this ball for the full 24 hours to be going around the track. So if you see it resting, give it a kick and just keep it going for the whole time. It's kind of cool. Also, we have a lot of relay gear we're going to be giving out throughout the day. So you'll see Marshall and myself giving raffle tickets out for participation. So if you're dressed up, doing a game, whatever, being one of those awesome people that make this fun for everybody else who get raffle tickets, just bring them back to our little table right here. We have a bucket. We've got some Relay for Life picture frames and notebooks and little cooler things, so we'll be calling raffle prizes all day. Also this year, and they have never been to Relay for Life before, but you might recognize their name, sponsoring survivorship, which is, yes, big round of applause. I'm going to read this little spiel so I don't mess it up. Sponsoring survivorship makes financial aid available to Lake County women and men who have been diagnosed with breast cancer. We are a nonprofit organization based in the community dedicated to assisting women and men in their battle against breast cancer. Sponsoring survivorship was established to help local women and men cover costs associated with their struggle against breast cancer. The form, la-di-da. So, anyways, they are set up right next to me right here. You'll see their pink and black banner. They have a raffle going on. If you want to find out about them, anything at all, come stop by. They are a local fundraising group, and their money stays here in the community. So we are very happy to have them with us this year. Big round of applause. I guess that's it. They have a raffle. I believe they're doing 5 raffle tickets for 10. 10 for 5? What is it, Terry? Okay. Come stop by. Okay. Is that all I need to say? All right. Have fun. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Sarah. Okay, so this year we have 44 teams, 367 participants, and we have raised $53,421. That number will grow, but I just want to let you guys know where we're at currently. Okay, now to honor the individuals who are leading the way in fundraising for this event, the individuals. We'd like to recognize them and make special mention that these participants are all Grand Club members, meaning that they have raised $1,000 or more. And they are Lindsay Hamner, $1,030. Come down and get your award. You can say that. Melanie Rose with $1,074. Laura Burke with $1,271. And at this moment, our very top fundraising participant is Brenda Wesselhoff with $1,482. This year, a member of our relay family lost his courageous battle with cancer. Ronnie DeKaiser was just 11 years old when he passed away this last January. His bright and contagious smile lit up our track year after year. This year, we would like to honor Ronnie. At 12:30 p.m., we ask that all kids of all ages take the track on wheels and join us for a Riding for Ronnie lap at 12:30. Today, 2 out of 3 people diagnosed with cancer are surviving. That is more than 400 people per day in the United States, celebrating more birthdays. A survivor is anyone who has ever heard the words, "You have cancer." Each survivor story brings us hope for a cancer-free future. Please help me welcome our local cancer survivor, Christina Baser.
Good morning. It's really great to be here. About 2 years ago, I wondered if I'd be here. And I'm happy to be here. I was asked to tell a little bit about my cancer story, and it started 2 years ago, one summer, early in July, and it was a hot night, and I went to push the sheet down because it was so hot, and I didn't have a place to put my arm. You know, it was sticky. I put my hand over my chest like this, and I felt this lump that was the size of a golf ball, and I knew I was in trouble. I rolled over in bed, grabbed my cell phone, and started looking up all the cancer websites. You know, I was really scared. And then I whispered over to my husband, "Honey, are you awake?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Feel this for me, please." He said, "Oh boy." So I took myself to my local doctor. He said, "It's just a cyst." Somewhere in my gut, I knew it wasn't just a cyst. So he wrote me a prescription for a mammogram and an ultrasound. And because I feared that it would be not a cyst, I took myself to UCSF because I knew that if I did have cancer, I wanted a team behind me. And that's what started off my journey. I went there for my mammogram. My husband wanted to go with me. And I said, "No, honey, it's just a mammogram," because I didn't want to believe my gut. And my mammogram was at 3:30 in the afternoon. By 7 o'clock that night, it was still there. They had put a needle in that lump and was able to tell me in an hour while I sat in the nurse practitioner's office by myself without anybody with me, 3 hours from home, "You have cancer." It was the toughest day of my life. And I was left to walk out, find my car, and make that long drive home. I stopped and told my husband. He said, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I said, "I'll make it home." And that's all I could say at the time. It was really tough. That was July 26th. Well, I got my diagnosis in that mammogram July 26th, 2012. And it took me a long time, about 6 weeks, before I told my family. I was afraid to tell anybody. My husband knew, and I knew, and we didn't tell anybody else. And I needed more information. I didn't want to drop that cancer bomb on my girls, my family, my parents who are getting elderly. I didn't want to tell them, you know, because I knew how afraid I was, and I didn't want them to fear for me. So after I found out, you know, what the treatment was going to be, that they did testing, that it wasn't hereditary, that it was a very, very aggressive form of cancer that grows 1.5 billion cells a week. And that's why I didn't feel it 6 weeks before when I was in Hawaii in my cute little bathing suit. So Gary and I formulated a plan and had all the information so I could tell my girls, and I wanted to be able to tell them, it's not hereditary, here's the plan, here's the treatment that I'm going to undergo, and it's going to be okay. And that was a process. And that's why today, because of my fear, I've become very knowledgeable, and I now help other women in those first stages while they're trying to make those decisions about treatment and where to go. I tell them my story and tell them what the resources are in this county and beyond, because I think everybody deserves a great diagnosis and really great care. And so, you know, off I went, and they told me when I started chemo, "Hey, you're going to lose your hair." And I'd heard that, you know, chemo's poison. Well, you know, chemo's medicine. It helps us find a cure. I participated in a clinical trial that's going to be the new Herceptin. And those of you who've had breast cancer and had the HER2/neu cell, there's real great hope on the way, because I took a pill every day for 12 weeks that had absolutely no side effects. And that was really nice because the Herceptin infusions I've been getting for the last year have terrible side effects. So again, we've got great news coming down the pike on that type of cancer and that, that aspect of cancer. And so my next big hurdle was, finding out I was going to lose my hair. And I was kind of downhearted about it. And I saw a commercial. I was sitting with my husband on the couch, and I saw this commercial. And this woman had that great flowing blonde hair that I'd always dreamt of having, a little curl on the end. And she could toss it over her shoulder and just look so fabulous. And I thought, I saw that woman on that TV, and I turned to my husband and I said, you know what, honey? If I can't, I never really thought my hair was all that great. It's kind of thin and stuff. So I said, you know what, honey? I'm going to go buy the hair I should have always been born with. And I did. I got not one, not two, but 3 wigs. So I could look awesome. And I wore them every single day. I wore them before my hair completely fell out. I did, It's just, what you do to make yourself feel better. And I can vouch that it really did. I went out and got that blonde wig, that was layered and thick. And in fact, one time we went to San Francisco, we had a little bit of time, and we went to the Lululemon yoga shop, which not much in there is anything I can afford. But we looked around, and the girl came up to me, and they're all these young girls, they're gorgeous with the long hair and everything, and she said, we've all been admiring your hair. And I felt like I was wearing this big babushka. I was so self-conscious. And I said, honey, I have ball underneath this wig. I have breast cancer. And that girl said, my aunt had breast cancer, and she's 6 years out. And as we all know, that those of us who've had cancer and those of us who've been touched by cancer, those numbers really mean a lot. That's why I have a sticker that says 2 today. And I'll be looking for other people's sticker. The person in front of me that registered had 28 years. That gives us all so much hope. So at the Lululemon store, I tried on this jacket that was $100. And when I tried it on, my husband's eyes lit up, and I went back to the dressing room to go take it off. She said, we'd like you to have that jacket. Made all the nurses at UCSF cry. I wore that jacket to every chemo appointment because it was gorgeous. And then I found out that during my cancer journey, it was a miracle a day. A miracle a day. I came home from shopping one day, and there was an orange tote hanging off my doorknob. And my daughter goes, Mom, there's an orange tote hanging off the doorknob. And I said, God, I hope it's soup. Because I never knew what to tell anybody that I needed. They stopped my husband in the grocery store. What can I do for your wife? I said, well, tell him to call me. I just want a phone call. I'm sitting here all by myself. Then I started getting smarter. I go, tell him I need soup. So those are, sending cards, bringing soup, and just calling someone with cancer are the 3 best things that you can do for them. And God bless all the caregivers. God bless the miracle every day on a cancer journey. Because if you look, there's one every day in the kindness of people, the kindness of your caregivers, the people that step up and just want to come and sit with you. God bless you all. And I'm glad I'm here today, and I'm glad you guys are here too. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christina, for being here and telling your story. I would like to now introduce our American Cancer Society Hero of Hope, all the way from Coos County, Oregon, 18-year-old Grant Krim.
I want to thank Rachel here for holding the umbrella for me so I can see my iPad. And she's doing a great job. So, my name is Grant Krim. I am 18 years old, and I am a cancer survivor. Last year, I was honored to be chosen as a Hero of Hope for the American Cancer Society's Great West Division. My experience with the American Cancer Society and Relay started when I was very young. I was only 22 months old when my parents found out I was sick. After months of doctor's visits, CT scans, and misdiagnosis, an MRI revealed that I had a brain tumor. The vomiting, balance issues, unexplained weight loss, and excruciating pain I suffered could finally be explained. That was the start of my journey as a 3-time cancer patient. The last 15 years of my life have been filled with doctors, hospitals, procedures, surgeries, and chemotherapy sessions. Like my Aunt Kim so perfectly explains, I felt like I was donating my body to science while still trying to live in it. In the early days, my family did not have a lot of money, and were being bombarded with medical bills. The expense of driving to Portland for oncology appointments was getting to be a lot. Treatment can be financially devastating for many families, and my parents didn't know about ACS the first time I was diagnosed. But when I ended up with a recurrence 18 months later, someone told them about the programs offered by the American Cancer Society. They helped my parents find hotel rooms to stay in during our numerous visits and ease the financial strain. ACS's funding of research and clinical trials is even more important. In fact, every surgery and chemotherapy treatment I had for my brain tumors were clinical trials, and without them, I would not be standing before you today. It is important that everyone understands that without funding many of these types of treatments, they would not be available. And I owe my life to the efforts of ACS and their volunteers. And I will continue to pay that forward for the rest of my life. Like I said, I was first diagnosed at 22 months, then again when I was 3.5, and again when I was 12 years old. It was during that time that I found myself fighting for my sight too. I struggled with all the chemo, the sickness, and really struggled with the loss of most of my vision. Relay has helped me cope with that, and the people I relay with have become family. So why does Relay inspire me so much? Well, every year at Relay for Life events, when I see the survivors gather in a sea of purple with determined looks on their faces, I cannot help but be inspired by their willingness to fight. Their loved ones line the track, clapping and cheering them on. And each and every year, I know in that moment that I will need to be more involved. My need to make a difference is renewed. And no matter how tired I may get, I know that I will spend another year fighting with other volunteers to save as many lives as we can. It doesn't matter what I'm facing in the coming years. I will never, ever give up. Dealing with cancer can leave you with visible and not so visible scars. But deciding how you will deal with that can make or break you. A perfect example of this was my best friend, Natalie Hill. We met through Relay and immediately clicked. There were things we could share with each other that other people just didn't understand. Nat was one of those people who was larger than life and refused to let cancer diagnosis defeat her. No matter what was going on in her life, she always had an infectious smile on her face. Faced with the reality that her diagnosis was terminal, she decided that she was going to live each and every day to its absolute fullest. She was not going to just give up. Natalie continued to strive for excellence in everything she did. She planned for college education, continued to earn a 4.0 GPA, volunteered as a coach for a youth soccer team, and checked off items on her bucket list one by one. But most important to her was her Relay for Life team. We planned to join forces and speak at community events, school and civic groups, all over our county. We were going to make sure that nobody could say they didn't have an opportunity to get involved with Relay and be a part of finishing the fight. We were going to go big or go home. The two of us were invited to speak here in Lakeport together. And if only you knew how much I wish she was here today. Well, actually, I think she is. You all would have loved her. This relay season, Natalie and I each set goals of raising $10,000 for our relay teams. It was a goal that we both achieved.
Woo!
But sadly, she would never live to see it. We lost Natalie on October 30th of last year. She didn't lose her battle with cancer. She fought like a warrior to the very end. And to me, that could never be called losing. Cancer took Nat's leg. It slowly took her breath, and eventually took her life. But Natalie never let cancer take her spirit. She spent her last days worrying about her soccer and relay teams and making sure everything was in order. She had the heart of a volunteer. I know there are probably a lot of people who get sick of hearing us ask for their donations, but I also know that the odds are pretty high that most of those people have been touched by cancer in one way or another. Cancer is a disease that does not discriminate. It is a disease that knows no age, no gender, no religion, no race, no sexual orientation, and no politics. Cancer doesn't care whether you have your whole life ahead of you or behind you. It will strike a baby boy just learning to take his first steps. A baby who is in so much pain that not even his mama's arms can comfort him. It will strike the preschool-aged little girl whose highlight of the day was an afternoon playing with her friends at the park, but now consists of craft time with bandages and tongue depressors. It will strike the teenager who just wants to fit in, play on the basketball team, and look beautiful at prom, but now has learned to feel comfortable doing it all with one leg. It will strike a man in his prime and steal the only son away from a grieving father who would have gladly taken his place. It will strike a young couple just starting out their lives together, leaving one of them to face the world alone. It will strike the young mother who fights with everything she has, but ends up leaving her children without the snuggles and gentle guidance only a mother can provide. Cancer can strike the father who just wants to live long enough to walk his baby girl down the aisle, or the grandfather who will miss the college graduation he scrimped and saved to pay for, or the best friend you shared all your secrets with. Cancer can and will strike anyone. So why, I ask, would we not want others to get involved? Why would we not be brave enough or obnoxious enough to ask for donations? This is not a disease that can be conquered by one man or one woman. This disease is going to take all of us to conquer it. Now I ask you, are you content to sit on the sidelines and let cancer steal those that you love? Because I definitely am not. I am here to celebrate, because like some of you here today, I am a survivor. I am here to remember, because like many of you here today, I have lost loved ones to cancer. And I am here to fight back, because like those of you here today who may still have loved ones battling this disease, we refuse to give up hope. Today we honor our cancer survivors, but we also honor those we have lost to cancer. We all know someone, a good friend, a mother, a father, a sister, brother, aunt, uncle, cousin, grandparent, who is not here celebrating with us because of this devastating disease. To those we have lost, we remember you and fight on for those who follow. Every step we take on that track tonight, we are providing hope to those who may have lost it, and encouragement to keep fighting for those who still have it. Relayers illuminate the darkness that a cancer patient faces to serve as a reminder that they are not alone in their battle. So thank you all for being a part of that. And remember that not only are we relayers, we are hope. Thank you for having me here today.
Hello. Thank you, Grant and Christina, for sharing your story. You are seriously an inspiration and a sign of hope. Right now, we would like to celebrate those here who give us hope. I would like to ask all of our cancer survivors who have been newly diagnosed to 5 years to come down in front of the stage, please. Forming a line behind them, please survivors come down from 5 years, or I'm sorry, from 6 to 10 years diagnosed. And now can I have the 11 to 15-year survivors come down? To 25 years, please come down. And then those of you who are 25, 26 year survivors and longer, please come down. Can't tell you how happy I am to see all these purple shirts. Will everyone please join me as we celebrate our incredible survivors with a round of applause as they make their way down here. We ask that you give them your best celebration that you have in you. Give them everything you have and let them know just how much they inspire us and help us to fight back. Survivors, if I can have your attention. I am speaking now to those newly diagnosed survivors and those who have been survivors for up to 5 years. Please listen to these words of hope by a fellow survivor.
I find hope, guess I'm used to talking on that thing. I find hope in my daughter and family. My advice to fellow cancer survivors is to keep your family close to you, those who give ongoing love and support.
At this time, will the newly diagnosed to 5-year survivors please turn around and face your hope?
Thank you.
Now I am speaking to those who have been survivors for 5 to 10 years. Please listen to these words of hope by a fellow survivor.
I find hope in my family and neighbors, who keeps me from feeling alone in my fight, who help me keep on being me. My advice to my fellow cancer survivors is to learn to laugh out loud every day.
At this time, will the 5 to 10 year survivors please turn around and face your hope?
I am speaking to those who have survived 11 to 15 years. Please listen to these words of hope by a fellow survivor.
I find hope in great doctors, nurses, and staffs at the hospitals and cancer centers. My advice to fellow cancer survivors is to do what the doctors tell you and to be hopeful and thankful for every day.
At this time, will the 11 to 15 year survivors please turn around and face your hope?
Now I'm speaking to those who have been survivors for 15 to 25 years. Please listen to these words of hope by a fellow survivor.
I find hope with Relay for Life and in raising money for research. I find hope in people who volunteer for clinical trials. My advice to my fellow cancer survivors is to live every day to its fullest.
At this time, will the 15 to 25 year survivors please turn around and face your hope?
And now, I am speaking to our silver survivors, to those who have been survivors for 25 years or more. Please listen to these words of hope by a fellow survivor.
I find hope in passing on of time. 50 years ago, I had a 5% chance of surviving 5 years. I hope in the American Cancer Society, and it works. My advice to my fellow cancer survivors is to appreciate all that you have and to enjoy every day. Don't ever give up.
At this time, will the silver survivors, to those of you who have been survivors for 25 years or more, turn and face the grandstands. Here is your hope relay, your hope for today and tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you look to the front of the line and then to the end, these survivors represent two very key people at our relay. Our longest-term survivor is there to give hope, letting the newly diagnosed know they survived and are still here today. The newest diagnosed remind us of just how much they need to receive hope right now. And it's their turn to feel the relay love and support that comes with being a survivor at Relay for Life. Please give our survivors one more round of applause.
I would now like to welcome Tim Wynot to the stage to lead us in prayer.
Hello. This is so humbling for me, and I'm proud to be associated with it. And I've already cried like 7 times because you guys are so strong and determined and full of purpose, and you just light this fire of inspiration in our hearts, and that turning around and facing your hope. I don't know whose idea that was, but it's just beautiful. A great moment. So would you pray with me? Heavenly Father, we're gathered here today with unity of heart and purpose to stand against cancer. And we ask that you see our determination and conviction and that you stand alongside of us. That we shine like a beam of light up into the heavens, and we're recognized in the spirit realm as those that aren't giving up, that can't stop, that refuse to lie down. And we set our hearts towards an answer, and we'll do whatever we can by faith, and we'll do whatever we can with the work of our own hands. And we won't stop. We can't give up, Lord Jesus. And we ask that that motivates you, because I know you believe and you love to heal people. You love to do the miraculous. You love to show off. And right now there are people here battling with cancer in their bodies. And I know that you could heal right now. Do a miracle, God. Do a miracle in bodies as relayers across the nation are standing together. Show off, God. And Lord, I believe that you use doctors and you use science, and that you've been giving answers. And we heard about this new drug that is even side effect free, Lord, and we're grateful for that miracle, Lord. Continue to advance science. Continue to give wisdom to doctors and insight. Early detection, Lord God. Let it be known. Let people discover things. If I wouldn't have known, if I wouldn't have been hot that night, if I wouldn't have touched my chest, there was a revelation. Lord, let our angels nudge us. Let them show us, you need to get this checked out, so that they can stand and be an example that other people turn and face. I'm still alive. I had early detection. I'm still fighting. Father, encourage those that are in the battle. And then, Lord, there are those that we want to honor. Whose fight is the one that we look to and remember. I know the stories of those who have lost, Lord God, their loved ones, and they have every reason to say, I can't go on anymore. I've lost. I don't have any more in me to give. I lost my wife, my child, my dad, my mom. How can I possibly give any more? And yet they're here facing that same enemy, going back and saying, I'll fight with you. I'll stand with you. I'm not afraid. I have been there. And together we'll overcome. Let that be the honor that those we've lost see. Not fear, not being reclusive, but instead engaging the enemy. Let that be an honor to those that have gone on, Lord. And some of us are frustrated. Some of us want to point a finger at you. Say, God, if you're so great, why didn't you? You could have. If you're so full of love, why am I alone? but we don't want to make you our enemy, Lord. So today we let go of all of that hurt, frustration. We let it just, as every lap we take, we let it just fall aside, fall to the side and to the right and to the left, and we grab hold of hope, and we grab hold of you, and we let you love us, God. We're going to walk laps, Lord Jesus. There's going to be games, and there's going to be a grace over this. That's what I ask, that you bring your grace, your spirit of celebration, your spirit of ability, that we see and hear these stories and we say, if they can, then I can. That every lap we take, there's more motivation, there's more anticipation of hope and of an answer. You're a great God and we love you. Everyone who believes, say in Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Thank you.